When a family legal issue disrupts your life, your whole world can stand still. At Circulaw, they understand that family matters require more than just legal expertise. They demand compassion, understanding, and dedication. Their highly experienced family law attorneys in Pittsford have guided countless families through their most challenging moments: divorce proceedings, child custody arrangements, asset division, all aspects of family law. Think of navigating family legal matters like walking a tightrope. You need steady, experienced guidance to reach the other side. And that's exactly what you're going to find at Circulaw. Their compassionate attorneys work tirelessly each day for one purpose: the betterment of you and your family. You don't have to face these emotional challenges alone. Take a breath and then take the first step toward resolution. Contact Circulaw today to discover how they can help your family get back to what matters most. Call them at 585-385-2510 or reach out confidentially through their website at circulaw.com. Circulaw, helping families get back to what matters most. Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram knows school's just about back in session, and that means kids' activities are kicking in and your calendar looks like a game of Tetris gone horribly wrong. You need a ride that's reliable, safe, and makes you look cooler than the dad with the minivan. How about this? A brand new 2025 Jeep Wagoneer S Limited 4xe. Lease it for just $199 a month for 24 months. That's right, 2 Benjamins and a spare dollar bill. First payment, DMV, taxes and fees due at signing, $2,500 cash or trade, 7,500 miles a year, conquest required. See dealer for details, exclusions apply. Or maybe you're thinking, forget soccer practice, I want to haul stuff. Then get into a 2025 Ram Tradesman Crew Cab 4x4. Lease it for just $379 a month for 42 months. First payment, DMV, taxes and fees due at signing, $3,500 cash or trade, 10,000 miles per year, conquest required. Basically, it's a truckload of awesome. Because whether it's carpool karaoke with the kids, hauling lumber, or just finally winning the cool carpool parent contest, Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Route 96 in Victor has your back. So stop scrolling memes and start driving dreams. Visit victorcdjr.com today.
When your old career gives you lemons, throw in some ice, mix in some vodka, and call it a podcast. From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport, and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Well, hello and welcome. Thanks for getting your pot on. Thank you for telling a friend. That's how we spread the word about the pirate ship. I think that yesterday on the last episode, Bull was making fun of me when he came on.
Bull made fun of you?
Yeah, I think he went, "Oh, hello, friends." I got sort of flattered by it. Danny's here, all clean shaven, my man, looking sharp. You look a little subdued. Why do you seem a little subdued? Are you subdued?
I guess.
You too many supplements today? What happened? I started taking your supplement and I'm peeing neon.
That's the idea.
It's like neon.
Just turn the light off when you do it.
I didn't.
No, so if it glows, that's a problem.
The light is far away from the toilet in my bathroom.
Yeah,
it's too far for me.
Yeah, and then you went, Jameson. No, that was you.
No. No, he's got his own bathroom. I'm not.
We got double bathrooms.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with that shit. I don't know.
There, the sink is plugged again.
Let me tell you something. I got to go in there and start. I've been cleaning like slowly.
The tub is plugged.
I got some standing. Never mind. I have issues right now. There's a lot of issues, but it has nothing to do.
Dad.
Nothing to do with my stuff in there. But you shaved it off, buddy.
Yeah, it was almost. It was actually longer than yours, but I looked like Mark Hillman, and I had to put it away.
Whoa!
Nothing. It's not a shot at Mark. No.
Hey! No disrespect, but I can't look like you, fat fucking loser.
That's not what I meant. You look younger than I do with a beard. I look old with a beard. Well, and I'm not knocking Mark, but Mark has a gray beard.
Yes, he does. He has a completely gray beard.
It's completely gray.
Yeah,
and mine was gray.
Yeah.
And then I read today that stress leads to gray hair. I'm like, all right, that's got to go. Gray's got to go. Shave's got to go. Okay. Beard's got to go. Well, my wife wanted me to grow one. I'm like, and I went 10 days.
Yeah. I don't know how long I've gone. So I've been experimenting with this because I've never had a beard.
Mm-hmm.
I did once in a November, and then I shaved it off. I figure if I get this and it comes in okay,
looks pretty good.
I'll let it stick around.
Yeah.
So, but then the problem,
it's like somebody drew you. You know what I'm saying? Those pencil drawings in New York City. It's like somebody drew Billy Moran on himself. It looks good.
All right.
Seriously, it's not a shot at you.
No, that's funny. I feel like remember the magnet you would get with the iron filings?
Yeah, 5th grade. Yeah, we're playing with the magnet.
Beard around the guy, or you put hair on his bald head. So I have the Manscaped beard hedger.
Yes,
but I think I'm missing the regulator, the guard. So I don't know where it is.
Okay.
I have no idea. So, but you can do different lengths. So I've been trying to do the different lengths, and then I shaved it down really close. And I go, well, I don't like that, but I don't know like how to keep it all tight. There are guys who look tight. So then today I decided, well, let me shave the neck and I'll leave it come down to chin. Then I went too high on the side. I don't know how to fucking do this. It's a lot of work. This beard shit's a lot of fucking work.
Not easy. And then you got to get beard oil.
Well, I don't know about that.
No,
but
when you get then you got to get glasses. Then you got to start drinking craft beer and wearing hard shoes.
That I'm okay with. The hard shoes. I got a lovely email to start my day today. And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I know that sounds almost like I'm being sarcastic. It is fantastic. And I was going to read it. And then I thought, well, should I have Danny read it? Because is it number one, is it self-grandizing to read it? But it was very, very sweet. And I think the purpose for me to read it would be to show people how much I do appreciate you downloading this podcast and listening. It truly means a lot. And but then I thought if I have Danny read it, well, Danny will turn it more into a joke. He'll all of a sudden become fucking Casey Kasem, and I'm gonna have to. So I'm thinking, do I let you do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Do you want me to read it like Casey Kasem?
No, I want you just
read it like Dan Barella.
But read it like Dan Barella. But you're not going to be able to because you're going to slip into some character and you're going to get all weird about it.
All right. I'm going to say. Good morning, Moranimal. Yeah. No, good morning. I've been a long-time listener since 96 days.
So the 96, what they're talking about is CMF. When I was on the radio
it was just
station.
96 CMF, right? Didn't they just call, because I remember seeing billboards.
I think it was when I started.
And then we have to add the 0.5.
Yeah.
Stanman comes in. We have to add the 0.5.
I think because
for better diaries. For more accurate diaries.
I think there was a 96.1 that came in.
Okay.
So you couldn't be 96. I think that was an FCC thing, but I don't know.
There was Joy 96 in Buffalo. I know that.
Yeah.
So it may have overlapped, but okay.
I don't know.
I'll start again. Good morning. I've been a long-time listener since 96 days and absolutely love, capital L-O-V-E, your Billified podcast. I have learned so much, both good and bad, LOL. And
see, I told you he can't. Well,
no, because it was in parentheses.
No,
I have to add context.
Yes, you do.
I have to add context.
You're right.
Tone gets lost in text. It's okay. So when I do that, it means I appreciate you opening your world to all of us and have adopted many of your philosophies. Quote, go for the better feeling thought.
Yes.
Quote, go forth and tell no one.
Right.
And one of my favorites, I get to.
I get to. Instead of I have to,
yeah,
I get to.
I get to.
Right.
And be present. Yeah. I use them all in my everyday life with my husband and adult children.
They must hate you.
I was initially devastated when I heard what had happened on 95.1, that horrible November day. I quickly realized that when one door closes...
Was Kennedy shot that day? Was that...
That was the 22nd.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was the 22nd. Was that when you were,
was I shot that too?
Was your radio career shot that day too?
No, I don't think so.
My fellow Americans, that's not what Moranimal can do for you.
All right, go
That's
on.
what you can do for Moranimal.
I knew we wouldn't be able to get through the letter.
I wasn't reading the letter.
It's you and me. We can't do anything. Go on.
You get through an entire show with me. No guests, just you and me.
I like it.
I quickly realized that when one door closes, another opens. Couldn't be more true. I enjoy your podcast very much and cannot explain all that I have learned from you and your guests, especially that Borello fella.
Does it say that?
No, it does not.
Does it say that?
No,
all right, okay.
Thank you. Big capital letters. Thank you for all you do. I look forward to each episode and tell your mom she can listen and simply fast forward through all the, quote, raunchy parts. I find myself simply listening to all of it. I am not a football fan at all, but have still learned from listening to new topics. Anyway, capital letters. Thank you, smiley face. Do you do a Bill Lightenment podcast? If so, how can I listen? Yeah. Thank you again and never stop being you. You, capital Y-O-U, have a wonderful positive impact on more people than you realize. Lifetime listener. You want me to give the name?
No. You just Jackie, right?
Yeah, Jackie. Yeah. P.S.
Go ahead. Here we go.
I clearly did not use ChatGPT or AI to help write this.
Right. It was well.
Yeah, that was
It was a well-written email.
Yeah, I wasn't going to get anything smart.
No,
That's a nice letter. That's a nice letter.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Honestly, it made me so happy today. And the Bill Lightman, I'm stockpiling before I release them, so that way it can come out every week. And if I miss a week, I got a couple in there that I can just pop in.
It would have been better if she wrote, since the 96 days, I was up in your studio when you had me doing sit-ups around your neck.
Oh, my God.
That's not true. That's not
I forgot about that. I totally fucking forgot about that. Now I have to tell the story.
Sorry.
No, well, see, now look, there's two people that I shared this letter with today.
Mm-hmm.
One was my mom, and the other was someone else that I felt like sharing. And I don't want to seem self-grandizing, but I thought that was very, very kind, and I don't know why, and it made me feel good, and I like knowing.
It should.
And I would say the better feeling thought idea. Been thinking about that a lot today, separate from here, because I've been doing something called the 5-minute journal, and you can buy it's called the 5-minute journal, and it has you, when you wake up, write down 3 things you're grateful for. You got to keep it by your bedside, and then you write down things that would make today great, and then kind of your mantra, your purpose, your who you are kind of thing. And then you have to do it again at the end of the night, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it's like, takes 5 minutes. And I kept thinking about how my day started and how great it was. And I got this email. Then I had to deal with a school issue for my kid and how easily that went. And then I needed to renew some health stuff. And everything was going fucking smooth.
All green lights.
All green lights.
All
man.
the green lights.
I had to call a client for something and they go, oh yeah, boom. And I got like every answer you would hope to get, you got.
You were in a flow state.
And then I had a kind of a hiccup. And so the rest of the day was sort of a wobble. And I went, well, I'm going to keep thinking about over here. I'm going to keep thinking about, the good news I got from the client and the other stuff and this email and not worry about that and just figure it'll work itself out. And that is easier said than done. That's all I mean. It's just easier said than done.
It is. Your mind is a tough place, man.
It is, yeah.
It really is. I know, especially, okay? There's 3 of me in there. They don't even get along.
No, they don't. They fight.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, God. What is it? Well, I'll ask one of the Dans in a little while what they thought. I think we need to mention the big news of the day.
Yeah.
Are you aware of the big news of the day?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I've seen pieces of it. I don't know the specifics of it.
All right.
But yeah.
Okay.
I got the gist of it.
The big news of the day is a shooter at the Annunciation Catholic School Church. They were in a church ceremony at 8:30 in the morning. Shot, and I think it's now 19 people, 2 dead, an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, and then it's adults and others that are really hurt. But there's things that are coming out. They identify the shooter. Mm-hmm. Do you know anything about this?
I know that Kash Patel immediately went through all the bullet points.
Well, Kash Patel, I think, he's
the head of the FBI.
Yeah, but I thought he was maybe targeted. No, maybe not. Okay,
I don't know, but the shooter had a manifesto, put videos on YouTube, which have since been taken down, and may have been trans.
Yes, that is the point. That's where I kind of want to go with this, just a little bit here, because I think that that was the headline in certain places, and I go, boy, that seems like cheap and easy journalism to me, because what we do automatically is one person's twisted violence does not indicate an entire community. Do you know what I'm saying? In other words, how many...
not all Italians are gangsters.
Yes, exactly.
I know.
Thank you. And we can't say that, just because, this person, and here's a little audio. I was disappointed once I found out they were, I think, Robin Westman, mother, Mary Grace Westman, obviously that's a very Catholic name, Mary Grace.
Yes.
And she worked at that school until she retired. And she's the one who allowed the courts in 2017 to change his name from Robert. Because he identified as a woman to Robin. And I was waiting to hear, like, you know, something like, this is my manifesto. But I didn't hear that. This is the actual voice of the person from a video that they believe was put up possibly within the last 48 hours.
Tomorrow.
Showing all these guns, showing all the bullets.
Tomorrow. I'm sorry to my family. But that's it. That's the only people I'm sorry to. Those kids.
Now, I go, this is like the most disturbing thing. And you got to see the amount of ammunition, at least in the camera lens. There's a lot of things that are written in, I would say, I think it's the cystic. Is that the right word? Am I using the right word? It's more of a Slavic language. I think it's used in Russia, the cystic alphabet. I think it's called cystic.
Okay.
C-Y-S-T-I-C.
It could be.
I don't. I'm too dumb to actually know the correct answer to that, but I think that's what it is. And there were things written on the guns and stuff like that. But we need to be clear that a person's gender identity is not what made them violent. I mean, there's other shit going on there. Don't you think? I mean, I know we're going to say, well, clearly there was something unstable. I don't know.
The only thing is, though, there have been now 4 of these incidents involving a supposed transgender person.
When?
Shooting. The Nashville shooting was.
The Nashville shooting?
The Nashville shooting.
That old man?
No. It was. That's why I was trying to go to my phone because I saw something like this before. I wish I had bookmarked it, but I mean,
I don't ever remember seeing a headline with that.
There were 4 different incidents that according to again, this is X, and so I'm working all day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? I started scrolling. There have been 4 incidents. Okay, so here it is. 2023, trans person shoots up a Christian school, kills 3 children, 3 adults. 2024, trans person shoots up a Christian school, kills 2 people, injures 6 others. 2025, just happened. Trans person shoots up a Catholic school, kills 2 children, injures 17 others. That's 3 mass shootings in 2 years. By trans people.
By people who identify as trans.
Okay,
but how about all the other ones?
No, I understand. Like there's shootings.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like
I understand that these things happen. Like I don't want to say all the time, but they happen often in this country.
What do they call? What do we call? Because I in my dumb language I would say, straight guys. What are they?
Straight white men.
But what do they call? There's a name for it.
Incels,
cis or something.
Oh, cis males.
Yeah. Which sounds weak to me, but anyway. I'm just saying, like, if you called out everybody who was, let's say, a cis male that did this, what the fuck? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hate seeing it painted with a broad brush because I think that's not journalism. It becomes sort of propaganda when we start doing that. And it gets scary, and there's people already. And I'm telling you right now, Danny, I think you're going to see some transgender eating lead somewhere. I really do. I think somebody's going to get pissed off and go, these freaks, that kind of thing. And that's honestly my worry. And I go, it's sort of like the scapegoat. What should be is 2 children died, 17 other people are injured in the hospital. This was a place of worship, a school. What are we doing with this glorification of guns? What is the mental health of most Americans that this is happening so frequently in this country? That to me is the bigger issue, not so much that it was a cis person, like a cis person, black person.
Yeah, I don't like using the term cis, but the reason the reason we're using the term cis is because we've been forced to use the word trans.
I'm just saying trans.
But the thing is, though, is that they want to be identified as trans. Okay. Like, I'm not, these are just facts. I'm not like, this isn't my opinion. Apparently, there's been a movement among trans people that they want to be identified as trans or the gender that they want to identify as. So now, if that's the case, and they go out and shoot people, then, okay, we're just playing by their rules. These are the facts. This is what they want to be identified as, and this person went out and shot up a school. These are all facts. This trans person went up, had a manifesto, ran through all the issues. But
the thing is, I mean,
is that sensationalism, or are they reporting facts?
I think it becomes sensationalism when you start putting it in there because there's such a minority of, I mean, how many trans people do you know?
I'm seriously
honestly,
trying to think right now.
I think I knew one or two people who maybe were. I remember an engineer in radio.
I know of one recently.
Okay, so
maybe two.
Okay, so out of all the people that you've ever encountered in life, it's a small amount, and that's my point. Is you're going to paint with a broad brush, and now we're going to have all these things, and that'll be the focus, and not the focus on mental health, our obsession with guns, the easy access to this sort of stuff. I don't know. I don't know if this person lived by themselves or not. Mm-hmm. They're 23 years old. It's very possible they could. I have a 23-year-old son who does not live with me or his mom. So, and I just go, I think we should be more outraged that children's lives got stolen, not so much the gender of the person. What the fuck is happening in this country that this becomes such an easy thing to do? And by the way, they tell on themselves.
I know. I want to agree with you. I
know you don't. That's why I brought it up. Because I want two different opinions on here.
Because here's the thing, though. I think let's go back. Let's go back a little ways, okay? There's been this movement. And this is not my opinion. I'm just stating facts here. There's been this movement in the last 10 years to teach critical race theory in schools, okay? You can look that up if you want. And my whole thing is just print the facts. Let's just print American history as it was verbatim.
I don't think I know what critical race theory is.
In other words, critical race theory, in other words, like there's a systemic point of view that white people have tried to suppress white men have tried to suppress every other group, and there's a historical systemic method in how they've done it over the years in everything, okay? That's what critical race theory is in a nutshell. That's just the basic way I can explain it. And my whole thing is, look, let's just print the facts. Yeah. And whoever did what to whom, it's all out there, and you could draw your own conclusions. Well, when it comes to crime, all the stats matter. The race of the person, the gender identity apparently now is a factor. Yeah. The age of the factor, where they single every little detail matters, so we can compile statistics and come up with a pattern and go, yeah, we got a problem with possibly this group and why, and then we could sort it out. I know that sounds harsh, but we have to. You're going to run into
problems there. And
but here's the thing: vigilante. I am not advocating vigilante justice.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like what you're saying is if we were able to. And I'm sure it happens to a certain degree at law enforcement and things like that. But once you start doing that, then we go down to, well, you're a young black male, which is what a lot of things happen.
Unfortunately.
But I'm going to say this. I will say this. I have never seen another culture that stands up for everybody who was a criminal and makes them their martyr. Right. And so you want to know why there's no advancement. It's like you're holding back the whole group. I have never seen a white person stand up and say, let's say this, take away the transgender, that this person, oh my God, a guy had mental health problems. Why weren't we getting him? You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We're not there. I don't mean to blame the victim, but there is some of that goes on in certain cultures, and it has become a problem because some people, I think we did target, right? We started to profile people. And then what happens? We got a kid who had Skittles in his pocket walking through a neighborhood at night and gets shot. Oh, we can't have that. Well, okay, so, do you understand what I'm saying?
So here's two sides of the coin, okay? 9/11 happens. We know who the hijackers were. Right. We know what their ethnicity was. We know what their religion was, okay? Then there came the Lackawanna 6, right? Yeah. And the Lackawanna 6, same thing. But you know who turned in the Lackawanna 6?
One of them.
The Muslims themselves in the community who were like, no, we're Americans first.
Yes.
Right? Yes. So that's where this is like,
It becomes a thing because you get on a slippery slope. If we start profiling everybody like that, and that's why you always hear don't profile, and I'll say, as an individual, we all do it, and it might keep you safe. You know what I'm saying?
My whole thing is be suspicious of everybody.
Well, I hate living with the. My father used to say, live with a discreet sense of paranoia. Well, I don't want to live with it.
I understand what he's saying.
So do I, but I don't want to live that way.
Be prepared and aware, but not scared. I tell myself that every day. Be prepared and aware, but not scared. I was in New York this past weekend. Be prepared, be aware, but don't be scared.
Well, here's
because when we get scared, then we get drastic.
Well, okay, so this is my point.
Right.
And that's where I don't want to see this story get twisted for people who had nothing to do with this level of horror. They didn't. Just because you're transgender doesn't mean you're going to do that. I think if you were to define a cis male, I think my picture shows up. You're not going to get any more. You know what I mean?
Penciled in beard and everything.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So it's not like I'm going, yeah, hey, be trans. I don't give a fuck what you do as long as you don't harm other people. Well, now you've harmed somebody.
Right.
But I can't necessarily blame that on this. Were there other mental illness? Could this be an indicator of that? Maybe. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not going to be somebody who does that. I'm comfortable in my skin. I don't know what it's like to not be comfortable in your skin.
Right.
I'm also a white man, and I will say
we live at the top of the American food chain.
I think
there's no doubt about that.
Okay, you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, because I've gotten a lot of shit. Like I
write down, just write down the things you worry about as a daily basis.
Right.
Then write down what a white woman worries about. Then write down what a black woman.
I don't know what they worry about.
Write down what she worries about, and a black man what he worries about, an Asian dude what he worries about, and a Jewish dude and a Jewish woman what they worry about.
Let me tell you something. You know who I never hear any problems with? The Asians. Never.
No.
Not a fucking problem.
No.
You know why? Because they don't
have time for anybody's BS.
They're behaving and doing
Dude, there's this one Asian comic. He goes, you should elect an Asian president. You know why? Thanksgiving, we work. 4th of July, we work. Christmas, we work.
That's funny. That's funny. We're going to get so loud. There's an Asian restaurant 2 doors down.
No, but
no. I don't care.
My point is, like,
people understand
there are
what we're
certain
saying.
groups where that list of fear gets a little bit longer.
Sure.
Depending on who the person is.
Yes.
And I get it.
Yes.
And we're Americans. We could do better, man. We could do a lot better.
We're
supposed to be. There's always trade-offs in life. We have all this freedom. We have all this excess. We live at the top of Mavlov's hierarchy of needs. But guess what? We've traded. What's we got in exchange for that? We lead the world in depression. We lead the world on being in gun crimes. We lead the world in all these horrible things. And why? Because we have so much, and yet do we act in gratitude, or do we just want more?
Like, I wondered why, and I do wonder if this would be part of the thing or not. I don't know, but I don't want to spend too much time on this story, but let me go 2 places. One. Did the Catholic Church speak out against transgenders? So this is why that. But it doesn't seem that way. This is where the kid's mom worked at one point, retired in 2019, and he was about hurting children. And in things that he talked about was his love of Sandy Hook and the 20-year-old kid who did that. Yeah. So that to me needs to be more the focus than whether or not the person was transgender. I just thought it was kind of cheap journalism in a way. And does it take away from, we should really be like pulling for these families and support and whatever is going on. I mean, people's lives were changed forever today by somebody who clearly had some problems. And I hope that doesn't get overshadowed is my point with that stuff. But I don't want it to be twisted into everybody where we're going to paint with a broad brush. All those.
No, that's irresponsible.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's irresponsible.
That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying, do it. But again, do whatever you want as long as you're not harming anybody. I don't care. Maybe I'd feel different if it was one of my kids. Maybe I'd be like, yeah, I got to get them all. I don't know.
After 9/11,
I hate to say that.
We had a lot of those.
Sure,
that
you
sentiment
did. Yes.
Out of paranoia, and then
yes.
we're like, okay, the irrational mind guides the rational mind.
But
we need to reverse the order.
But we see things in a country now where here's the problem.
I'm going to tell you so much.
I'm going to tell you right now. Republicans are going to stay in control. And the reason they're going to stay in control is because the other side is too fucking fractured on so many things. What do you have? Stan Main sat here, and I thought he said it best the other night. He goes, President Trump is probably the most effective president ever because the presidency, and he's right, basically by definition is a bully pulpit. And he uses it better than anybody ever has and probably anybody ever will. And we can talk about the deportation and how much maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. People have opinions. Is it effective? It's cut down way down on the border crossings. Way down on the border crossing.
Right.
Therefore, effective. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, okay. But the only thing that Republicans have to dance to is big business and the church. You keep those two things happy, that's it. We can make that. I go on the other side. I've got gays. I've got trans. I've got
You got racial issues.
You understand what I'm saying? And nobody can come together because nobody's.
You're not woke enough.
Right.
Like Bill Maher. Did you watch Bill Maher the other night?
No.
Oh, he was fantastic. I mean, the thing is, Bill Maher's big thing, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't paid attention, Bill Maher was like a liberal political comedian, right? Yeah. He was like more political than any other comic maybe of this generation since Carlin.
We had Politically Incorrect as a TV show.
Yeah, it was. Then he started doing his show on HBO, and Real Time. And his whole thing is he goes, listen, I didn't move. The line moved.
Yeah.
What he means is the Democrats have gotten so far left, hinging on communism, which they are. Go look at New York City and what's about to happen.
And
and he's like, wait a second. I didn't change.
No.
The line changed. I did not become a conservative. The line moved. He goes, like his whole book, I bought his book, and it says, what this comedian said will shock you. You know, like how they get clickbaity.
Yeah.
Okay. That he took that, and his whole thing is, the Republicans are still whack. Democrats, we can do better. Come on, we're smarter than this. And it's like, no, you're not. You're too fractured. And by the way, I'll say this as a Christian, we have the most fractured religion in the world. We can't get anything. We can't even agree on salvation. No. And people are like, as Christians, how are you supposed to change the world when you can't even agree with each other when Jesus says to love each other?
Hang on. How many times, since we're painting with a broad brush type thing, right? Let's say all transgenders, we hear, wacko Christian, man, Bible thumper all the way, right? And do we hear that as a negative term? And there have been right-wing Bible thumping Christians who were involved in some kind of shooting. Yeah, right?
Yes.
We've had those things.
Far right.
No, right. But I'm just saying,
there's extremists.
So we have to look at that and keep that in mind.
I use the Christian thing as a point with the Democrats. They're incredibly fractured.
Well, they're fractured.
They're incredibly fractured.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And the Republicans, man, like you said, hey, just keep food on my table, keep me working, and stay out of my Bible, stay out of my church.
It's really two big groups, right, that are involved there, not so many little ones. And this is the problem around the world with, I'll call it more liberalism than anything, because there's so many groups and everybody wants to be heard. And it's just like, hold on a second. And the other side of this, too, is, where people go, Trump is this, is that. Well, maybe he's showing us what we really are in this country, too. Yeah. We uncovered a lot of things.
I mean, the
things that were hidden away and tucked away, it's just coming out.
Social media and the recent elections have just revealed what we really are.
Right.
Only we're not saying it just in our living rooms anymore. Yes. Now it's everywhere. It's on the internet. It's everywhere.
Okay. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we can kind of let things simmer a little bit and we can come to a better understanding. I don't really know. All I will say is this is a tragedy, and I hate seeing it.
It's awful. It's just, as someone who believes in prayer, and you hear the words, when you hear the mayor, I think it was the mayor of Minneapolis saying, thoughts and prayers. I don't want to hear about thoughts and prayers. I get where he's coming from.
Is that what he? I
think he
somebody said it.
Yeah, and every time there's a tragedy, one side says thoughts and prayers when it comes to guns. The other side says thoughts and prayers aren't fixing this. And then when the tragedy goes to the other side, like let's say it's an illegal committing a crime, all of a sudden the left yells, don't politicize this. This is a tragedy. And the right goes, we shouldn't have gotten the country in the first place. We all play by the same playbook. It's all one big lumberjack wrestling match. We just root for our side, and we use the talking points whenever it fits us. Ladies and gentlemen, I got news for you.
I can't with you. I got news. All right, this just in.
America's got to come to Jesus.
Well,
and you're not going to like hearing that. Nobody wants to hear that, but you know what? You read that book.
No, I'm telling you.
You ain't going to find anybody better to follow. And I'm telling you, until that happens, until he comes back, it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get worse.
Okay.
So
maybe not. Maybe we figure it out. Maybe Jesus is in all of us. We are of Jesus. We're related in some way. We're connected. We can figure this out, Danny. I don't know. On to lighter things and things that'll get Dan's blood boiling. Well, I don't know. I don't mean this in a bad way.
I know.
I mean this. The Bills are bringing... Why are you laughing?
Yeah, if that didn't get my blood boiling, this will.
No. I didn't want to get your blood boiling. I thought one of my favorite things is, and I used to be, yelling in there on the radio and stuff, but I don't think that's effective. And I think that there's too much of that shit, or there was. And I think that to have a discussion where you bring up there, it's on X that there's been 3 and they're identified as. I don't think that that's a bad thing for you to bring up.
Yeah.
I think it also sort of makes a point, though. It's 3 compared to all the numbers of mass shootings we've ever had, or the serial killers that we've had, right? I mean, wasn't there a joke that mass shootings were always white guys? I think like remember DC, the DC sniper that was going around, and I think that turned out to be somebody who was of a different race than white, and people were like, "What?"
Yeah, John Muhammad was his name. He and his son. Yeah, right.
Makes no sense.
This doesn't fit the stereotype. Serial killers are typically white.
Yeah, right. And you go back, and most serial killers, cannibals, they were white. They were white guys. So that's my own.
Let me just end with that and with this. Everybody's like, you'll say, okay, of course Danny's going to say that. So let me just leave it to us, the Christians, okay, on this one. Leave it to us. You don't have to do anything. Let us do this, my fellow Christians. As it says, and you've heard this verse in 2 Chronicles 7:14. We're going Old Testament.
Okay. I don't even know.
If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves, meaning, come on, humble yourself.
Right.
Pray, seek my face, God's face. Yahweh's face, Jesus' face, and turn from their wicked ways. I will hear them from heaven, forgive their sin, and will heal their land.
Okay.
So, guys, you don't have to do anything if you're not a Christian. If you want to become one, awesome. But if you are, just do that. Let God handle it. And maybe, just maybe, we could turn it around before Jesus comes back.
All right. Well,
there's always hope.
There is. Speaking of turning it around, the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
We're trying to get over the hump. I think you and I discussed Nick Wright. I discussed Nick Wright and his saying that they really need to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Josh Allen.
Yeah. And then Bull.
And Sean McDermott.
Bull was on yesterday, and Bull said, hey, it's a fair point. It's a fair point that they haven't hung an AFC championship banner in their Highmark Stadium. Right?
No,
it hasn't happened.
Not since 1993.
Right. So at least not under McDermott. So that would be it. Okay. One of the weak spots that we're seeing or fearing about, I don't know, is the defensive backfield and in particular maybe the safety. I hear Shiloh Sanders is available. But how do you feel about them bringing back Jordan Poyer? And is he just on the practice squad? Is he like the veteran voice out there, or, to get in guys' ears and maybe help coach them up a little bit? I mean, you got to admit, Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde were one of the best tandems in the NFL when they were with the Bills.
They were. Micah Hyde was on the practice squad last year.
Yes.
Sean McDermott loves to bring back guys who know his system.
Right.
That's his thing, okay? And there have been certain positions they've drafted really well. They've done a heck of a job with the offensive line. They made Josh Allen an anomaly at quarterback. I mean, Josh Allen was not supposed to be what he was according to the numbers, and he has defied every expectation, mine included. So they've done well there. They've done well in the backfield. They've done well in the secondary.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Part of that secondary was they had to bring in 2 free agents, one named, this is years ago, Micah Hyde, the other one named Jordan Poyer, because their defense is not a blitzing attack-style defense the way Wade Phillips was, the way a lot of guys are. His defense is more what they call a bend but don't break. Keep everything in front of you, and eventually you'll get the takeaways and the turnovers. And last year they did. They did really well. McDermott's defenses are sometimes in the top 5. Sometimes they get to all the way down to 20, but they do take the ball away. The thing is, though, the fact that he's had to bring back a safety in the last couple of years reminds me of when they didn't have enough receivers and they had to bring back Cole Beasley and John Brown, and they came back and did nothing. But, hey, we know these guys, and they know our system. Right. And that's what they're doing with Jordan Poyer. So he's going to be a highly paid kind of assistant coach to mentor Cole Bishop and Taylor Rapp. Just the way Micah Hyde did last year. But if worst case scenario comes where these guys don't get it, like DeMar Hamlin, and
you throw them in.
They throw them in. That's a horrible, horrible place to be for a defense that's predicated on going from the back forward, which is where your safeties are.
Talk to me about the money, because Poyer was making $2 million with the Dolphins. Mm-hmm. What do you know what the salary is? I haven't seen.
I don't know. I think if he's on the practice squad,
$800,000.
Yeah, it's like there's a veteran minimum that he's going to be making.
Yeah.
But I think they talked him into coming back just to kind of be a mentor. But that's what coaches are for. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's on his way out. His career's over. That's one less spot for somebody else who could develop.
But could it also be to watch him in practice and how he does it? You know, you could coach all day long. I mean, clearly, coaching is the difference. I was amazed when Bull was on the last episode and the audio wasn't great because he's not technically great apparently, but I love the guy. He was listing all the great players that the Bills had back in the early 2000s and on, and I forgot. I mean, you had guys like Marshawn Lynch. He goes, the players were there. He goes, the coaching was not.
No, I mean,
do you agree with that?
Aaron Schatz of formerly Football Outsiders says the 2004 Bills were the greatest football team to never make the playoffs, and he's got the numbers to prove it.
Yeah.
And that was the year where they went on that run, and all they had to do was beat Pittsburgh and their backups, and they couldn't beat Pittsburgh at home with their backups. Right. That was the Greg Williams. That was Mike. That was Mike. That's Mike Mularkey coached that game, or was it? Mularkey was the head coach of that team. Okay. And, they've drafted Marshawn Lynch. They drafted Jason Peters. Jason Peters is going to Canton.
Yeah.
I mean, Marshawn Lynch, Jason Peters, and Stephon Gilmore are three dudes who maybe head to Canton who we don't remember as Buffalo Bills. America is not going to look at as Buffalo Bills. They're going to look at Marshawn as a Seattle Seahawk. They're going to look at Jason Peters as a Philadelphia Eagle. And they're going to look at Stephon Gilmore as a New England Patriot.
Right. And it's interesting because you go, well, what was happening all those years? And so coaching is so critical, and you see it in Josh Allen. And it's not – Josh has to be able to take that information, process it, put it into his own way of playing and all this, and clearly has done a tremendous amount of work himself.
I mean, they had London Fletcher.
Yes, this is what I'm saying.
They had Drew Bledsoe. They had Terrell Owens.
Well, Drew Bledsoe at the end of his career. Yeah. Terrell Owens kind of at the end of his career. But they had Mario Williams.
They had Mario Williams.
He was that guy was
they had this
the
kid named Chris Hogan who came to light on a show called Hard Knocks.
Yes.
Got to figure out that one too. But, I mean, Bull was right. They had a lot of, not stars, but solid to great players.
So if this were
Takeo Spikes.
So I ask you this.
Yes.
This is my question to you. If this were any other team other than the Buffalo Bills, would Sean McDermott be on the proverbial hot seat if they didn't get to, I'm going to leave it there, get to the Super Bowl? I won't say win. I just say get to the Super Bowl.
Historically speaking, yes, because we've seen it. We saw it with Marty Schottenheimer. He was shown the door in Cleveland. He was shown the door in Kansas City. He brought both of those teams to multiple. He brought Cleveland to multiple AFC championship games. I think 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken. And he brought Kansas City to one with Joe Montana. Chuck Knox could not get over the hump in L.A., Seattle, or Buffalo. He just couldn't do it. All right? And those are the two guys that everyone compares Sean McDermott to.
Right.
And but here's the thing about Schottenheimer. Schottenheimer had never had an all-world quarterback until he got Montana at the end of his career. San Francisco had moved on to Steve Young at that point. Steve Young was just entering his prime, and he'd been in the league a long time. Like, he was old. He was as old, if not older, than Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
And about the same age. And all of a sudden, he hit his stride right when Jim's coming down to the end of his career. So you got to look at it and go, okay, who could take this team over the top? Why haven't they gone over the top? And my theory is, there was talk about Dwayne Carter getting cut because he played really late into the Tampa Bay game, into the fourth quarter of the Tampa Bay preseason game. He was a third-round pick last year. If Keon Coleman and Cole Bishop, who the reason they signed Jordan Poyer is because Cole Bishop's not playing well. He was a second-round pick. If your top 3 picks from last year don't pan out this year, you could take the 2024 draft and parts of the 2023 draft and pretty much throw it down the toilet. 2022, they had a phenomenal draft. 23 and 24, especially 24, not so much. You cannot miss. And I've had a theory, I can't prove it. I think Greg Connors disagrees with me on this. I know you're going to talk to him at some point. I have a theory, and the theory is while Brandon Beane, the general manager, goes out and pounds his chest, says that's his draft room, I believe he's literally just setting the table for Sean McDermott to make the picks. I believe Sean McDermott's the guy making the picks. And when a head coach makes the picks, the head coach thinks very short-sighted. And that's why they keep trading up. I got to have this guy now. I got to have this guy now. Right. I got to have this guy. That's why there's so many trade-ups. The Ravens, they don't trade up. They wait. They wait. until their guy comes to them. They have to really want a guy to trade up. The only time they really traded up was for Lamar Jackson, and they traded back into the first round for him. I think that, their drafts have been hit and miss, and he's had some great – I mean, look, Sean McDermott's a hell of a coach. I mean, it's not just Josh Allen's talent that's gotten them to win the division every year, but when you get to the championship game, when you get to the deciding playoff game, it has to be Josh Allen and somebody else. Who has that somebody else been?
I don't know, but we hear that Coleman's could be all league this year. Well, whatever. People are saying that.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's true, we'll find out.
Dalton Kincaid's going to have a breakout season.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
But
okay.
But
if you say so, Josh Palmer, we went out and got him. Okay. If you say so.
I say this. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I mean, maybe not this season. There is still Sports Illustrated, just 2 days ago, writing about Micah Parsons and the fact that he's not happy. And one of the places they think he could really land is Buffalo. And that he is a game changer, and people would love to see him in a Bills uniform and think he's got a lot of gas in the tank, and he isn't this locker room issue, which some people have referred to. I don't know much about the guy. I don't know in terms of cap space. It doesn't seem like there's enough room there, but trades get worked out. Draft picks can go. Who the hell knows?
If you want to do something, you will.
Yeah.
In the NFL. You can make it happen.
Well, apparently, I think the Bills have been knocking on the door and somebody knows it.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Well, he followed Josh Allen on Instagram. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. Okay. No, I didn't. But I'm just saying, somebody said they're very similar in their preparation for the game, in their style and everything. I go, maybe the guy would be a great fit and somebody you want, because who do they have from the Chargers now?
Josh Palmer. Joey Bosa.
Joey Bosa. Side, and we don't know what Joey could be at the end of his career. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's had his injury issues.
Yes,
he can't
that's what I'm
stay on the
saying.
field. They took a flyer on him. He cost them a lot less than Von Miller.
100%.
And he's going to fill that Von Miller role. You realize Von Miller was like second on the team in sacks last year?
Yes.
And he only played 20% of the time.
But he got in there.
He did. He did until that we get to the conference championship game and you can't stop Patrick Mahomes. That's the bottom line. Stopping Patrick Mahomes is been the bottom. They can't get him off the field. So it's on. So they went out and drafted all these guys on defense and they started reaching for guys. Okay, let's see what happens here. I'm not. Look. It comes down to this. I don't think Sean McDermott's going anywhere.
I don't either. And that's why I said if there were anywhere else but Buffalo.
Yeah, I think
he brought them back.
I think
the success run has been fun.
Yeah.
They're building a new stadium. McDermott has really done an incredible job. Mm-hmm. Can they get over that hump? I don't know.
There's a guy in baseball, great manager, Buck Showalter. Buck Showalter rebuilt the Yankees. He leaves. Joe Torre comes in. They start a dynasty, start winning World Series.
Yeah, right.
He goes to Arizona. These vets got sick of hearing his mouth.
Right.
He gets fired. They bring in a guy named Bob Brenly, no managerial experience. They win the World Series. He goes to Texas. He rebuilds them. They go to 2 World Series after he gets let go. Right. Everywhere now later in his career it didn't happen. But the point is, everywhere Buck Showalter would go, he'd build it up, and then somebody else would have to take over because he could only take him so far. And with Sean McDermott, I'm sorry, that's just been the case.
Yeah.
And it's not just because Patrick Mahomes is awesome. It's because they somehow can't figure it out late in games against this dude. They brain cramp. You had 3 minutes, 33 seconds, and 3 timeouts to go. All you had to do was kick a field goal and tie the game. You didn't have to go win the game. They could have run a 4-minute offense. What happened?
When's your wife's birthday?
I think it's February.
You know your wife's birthday because
yes.
It's too easy to not forget.
Yes, of course.
Even I know that.
But the point is, though, is that
I'm just saying that right down to I find that incredible. That you know this game, that game.
But the thing is, and I said this at BTB, we were there. I said, and everybody looked at me like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. The whole bar got quiet. I go, all right, this is what we signed up for. Here we go. Josh Allen's got the ball. And what happened? They ran it like they had no time in the world to get down the field. That's where the head coach has got to tell his offensive coordinator, hey, we got 3.5 minutes here, dude.
Right.
Don't kill yourself.
Right.
Just get down the field and play the game and win the game.
That's it.
And in those moments, Sean McDermott's nowhere to be found, and Josh Allen has to throw to Josh Allen. Josh Allen has to run to Josh Allen. Josh Allen has to play defensive back. Josh Allen has to kick return.
Right. You get all wound up.
Yeah.
Oh, God. See, he told you your blood was going to not boil, but just get flowing. Yeah, good blood flowing. There's something that has changed in the world, and I don't know if it was something that I wish I had as a child or not, and that would be drones. Drones are interesting to me.
I could see us as kids playing with drones.
Well,
It would be so cool.
I
Because
would-
remote control cars.
Oh, my God.
Now imagine something in the sky,
No, but yeah, exactly.
and you could spy on people.
Well, now, I mean, come on. If I got to see,
Yeah.
Kate Osofsky changed it in a room when I was a kid. I mean,
Hey, baby. 16-year-old Bill
I gotta
Moran of
give it-
Pine Plains was charged with loitering and
If my friend, the girl I really
Boiling.
liked in high school, Tara, wasn't lived by a bunch of trees in a wooded area, probably been easier with the drone, but I don't know. But the drones are they're interesting, and I don't know what to really make of them. I love drone footage. I think it's great. I think it's easier now for news stations to get aerial footage, show you traffic. They can show it. Just get a drone guy. Done and done. But then you get problems like this from Florida.
As most people slept around 1 a.m. Tuesday on Hannah Michaela Lane in Lutz, a late-night delivery was on its way. All of a sudden, one homeowner heard a clatter against the back of their house.
Okay. So you hear a clatter against the back of your house. Obviously, since we're talking about drones, this would be a drone, but it's 1 a.m.
It was on its way. All of a sudden, one homeowner heard a clatter against the back of their house.
He walks outside to discover a drone had crashed in his backyard. He picks up the drone when he sees that the drone has a brown cloth bag attached to it.
This family wasn't expecting a package. The homeowners tell us they...
Now, didn't we hear like Amazon was going to start delivering by drone and all this? Now, I thought drone, I'm being told, well, I'll get into that in a second. I don't know if that'll ever happen.
opened up the bag, and this is what they found.
3 bags with fentanyl powder and 1 bag of methamphetamine.
They immediately called the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Before deputies could get there, Sheriff Chad Chronister says the homeowners saw a man outside.
In his backyard with a flashlight looking for the drone.
Okay. So the operator of the drone knew he had crashed. Now, they have the guy because the cops are called because there's drugs, and you'll hear the cops say what the 3 bags had written on them. Here we go.
Then the homeowners tell us they heard 3 separate knocks at the door. Their security footage captured that delivery driver or drone operator looking for the missing package.
knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want weed. Twice on the pipes if the answer is meth.
There he is. There he is.
Deputies found
There he
Jason
is.
Brooks waiting outside the house.
Wait, where's this drone at the moment?
It showed me it was in the backyard, but I tried
Okay,
to
so
not-
this is the guy. He goes, it showed me it was in the backyard. Okay, it showed me it was in the backyard. He obviously was too low. And
You know we can't just be going in people's backyards trying to look for shit.
I know. That's why I knocked.
that's why he went and knocked. He's like, hey, I think I lost my drone in your backyard. Can I go get it?
Another deputy went inside the home to unbox the package.
Oh, names. Oh, okay.
So there's names written on the bags. There's 3 different bags, and there's names written on them. And then
The sheriff says each bag was labeled with his customers' names. On the 4th bag,
Share this. Okay. All right.
don't do it alone, you selfish pricks.
Chronister says there's no doubt Brooks was trying to make sure this flight went undetected.
Give me the remote. Put your hands around your back.
So then they
Jason
arrested him.
Brooks made a first appearance in court over video conference Wednesday afternoon. Now, deputies will look at drone data to try to track this special delivery.
Okay, so I'm not familiar enough with drones. So next Wednesday, or the next time you and I are together, September 3rd episode that we tape, a guy from a company called Your Drone Guy is going to come on because I called him today. And I go, tell me about drones because what can they figure out? They can't figure out where it's going. There's no flight log with a drone. I don't have to do that. Now,
Yeah, it's not. I don't think you have to log it with the FAA.
no, you don't. But he said you can't fly drones because he goes, yeah. I go, how close do you have to be to your drone, like when you're flying it and stuff? I said, in other words, could you fly one from one town to the other?
Right.
Right? Can you do that? And he goes 50 kilometers. And I go, why do you got to go to the metric system? I'm too fucking dumb to figure that out. And he started laughing. He said, well, you
So
can
it's like, what, 35 miles?
you can fly 400 feet up And then I think you start getting into airspace. So this guy was trying to go really stealth because he hit a rooftop. I mean, and you're supposed to be in line of sight according to your drone guy. So that would mean that you have to be there. And he said sometimes if you're going longer distances, as long as you have someone else. So if you were going to fly from New York City out to Long Island, you're not going to have line of sight, but you could have people along the way that are tracking your drone, and they can be considered the eyes on that.
Okay.
I don't know all the rules. Like, there's a lot of laws and stuff. But then I go, here's a cool technology, but then the world is designed by geniuses to be run by idiots.
Right.
Because you're going to have somebody, what happens? What happens if you send up your drone and your neighbor, you just happen to know that your neighbor likes to lay out topless in sun in the middle of the day while the kids are at summer camp. And so you fly.
It's a violation of privacy.
Well, would it be? I mean, that's I don't know.
Yeah,
you go, oh, what do you mean? I was just flying my drone, man.
Well, a couple of years ago, I was announcing a game at St. John Fisher University football game, and we noticed drones in both end zones.
Yeah.
And the referee stopped the game, and we didn't realize that the team was using the drones to tape the game.
Okay.
To help tape the game. But the point was, like, there were drones there at each game, but, like, anybody could have flown those drones over, and what were they going to do about it? They're going to stop the game, get the drone out of here. Well, who owns the drone?
Right.
Were you going to shoot it down? Right. Well, you're not going to pull out a gun in a campus and shoot it.
Well, you hope not.
So what do you do?
You fucking hope not.
So they waited like 5 minutes to figure out whose drone it was, and I think somebody just said, oh, it's ours.
It's Fisher's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We think. But, I mean, the point is, like, we got to get the game going. We can't take it. So it's just up to who's going to go get it. You don't have, like, drone cops going out and, like Scud, there's Scud missiles and the Patriot missile.
Sitting in his dorm room back up at Happy Hall flying it.
Right.
They're paying me $20 an hour. What do I care? Yeah, it's interesting. Like, you could do X surveillance.
Yes.
Surveillance on your ex.
Yeah.
Right? You can find out, what has she been up to? What has he been up to these days?
Every breath you take.
Right. I mean, I
just found out that my wife and her mother, like, keep track of each other on their phones. I'm like, do you do that to me? She goes, no. Are you sure?
She's lying.
Do I have a tag on me?
She's fucking lying.
I mean, I live the most boring life. I'm here. I'm there.
I never had my location services on my phone. So you couldn't see where I was.
Yeah.
You have to go deep in there to turn them off. So you may have it on and not know it. There's ways to figure that out, but you do you. So Jameson started saying to me, can you just kind of tell me where you are? And he goes, and that way you can track me and I'll track you. And I was like, yeah, all right. And then he comes over, hey, I was thirsty. I'm like, okay, all right. But my brother has location services. They track their friends. They'll get texts from their friends. Hey, are you at such and such? I see you're at such and such. Pick me up, whatever. It's like, oh my God.
Right.
Like, I'm not sure.
That's creepy.
I agree.
I don't have that kind of friend. Those kind of friends.
Well,
my friends don't give a crap.
My brother does. But I mean, you could have a drone come in and you could film everything. You know what I mean?
Well,
bachelor party.
I'll tell you this. One time when I started dating my wife, a guy who was interested in her figured out she was at my house.
Oh, send a drone over?
No, like apparently he was tracking her on her phone.
Yeah.
He could track her through something.
Well, they might have been tracking each other when they were together, and she didn't.
He calls me one day on Facebook. Now, if you get a Facebook call, that's a little creepy.
Well, I've answered those from listeners. I have in my house. Okay. I've answered. There have been a few listeners because they don't have my phone number, but they'll call through that, or there is the 585-206-8866, not to hijack your story here. I have answered that because it's an app on my phone, and I can just answer that anywhere.
I answer the phone.
Oh, God. Did you know who the guy was? Did you recognize his name?
He called his name.
All right, hang on. Before you say anything, you look down. You see her ex's name pop up on your phone. See, and you decide.
I hold the phone up and I go, hey, look who's calling.
She's there.
She's there. Yeah.
Okay. And so what is happening inside you internally as you're debating whether or not to answer this?
Oh, I was ready. I answered. There was no discussion.
There was none.
Like, you want something?
Is that what you answered?
I go, hello. I'm not going to say his name.
Yeah.
Click.
Oh, he hung up?
He hung up. Oh, he's a pussy. He hung up. He sends me a message.
Okay.
8:00 that morning, Sunday morning. He goes, hey, Dan, I've never had a conversation with this dude.
Okay.
The call, honestly, messenger call was not intentional. I get out of church at noon. If you want to talk, we can talk anywhere, anytime you want. If you don't want to, I don't want to hear from you again. I never heard from him again.
All right, maybe it wasn't intentional.
When I would run into him.
He was stalking your Facebook page.
Oh, yeah.
And he accidentally hit call. Yeah. Well, I could say it could happen.
Still kind of nuts.
A little drunk.
3 o'clock in the morning?
Well, you're lonely. When else is
By
it
the way,
gonna
Beth
happen?
and I were just chatting.
Hang on. When else is it going to happen? You're missing your girlfriend at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I know.
It's drunks and lovers on the road. It's lonely people at night. That's why I used to
Now, the funniest thing about this whole thing is, like, you know how you don't like, I've never been somebody who gets off on making people anxious or nervous or uncomfortable or having power over somebody.
Naturally.
Yeah, I guess. When I was in the same room as this dude, because we were hung in the same circles, if wherever I went, he would go the opposite direction. So I would literally just like try to be around him and just watch him. Just because I have that much control over you, dude.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It is
like you can't even go to the bathroom.
It's a hard thing for people when a relationship goes and it wasn't something you wanted to end, and you act irrational maybe, and I feel, I don't know, I have a little bit of empathy. I like to think I've never done that, but I don't know. I know there were people that would make me uncomfortable. I remember leaving at dinner once because somebody was just making me uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
I was at a dinner. It wasn't somebody I dated. I was with a date, and this person was, oh God, I just thought of who it was. I'll tell you when the mics are off. But I don't like when adult men act cute.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't. And
there's a lot of that going on.
Well, I think there's funny guys.
Yeah.
And I like, kind of ball busting and that sort of thing. But when it's like cutesy sayings and little dances and loud and trying to get all the attention, I was so uncomfortable. I don't know what happened to me. I got so uncomfortable. I faked a stomach ache and I left.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I really did. That's a true story. I didn't know what else to do. I go, I can't sit here with this fucking guy. It's the most annoying thing. And and then what happens is then I'm going to get quiet. And when I'm quiet, everybody starts to notice. And so I'm uncomfortable. So now what's wrong? What's the matter? Oh, my stomach's killing me. I got to get out of here. And that's what I did. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't, this other person, and it wasn't like you could go, well, somebody's getting attention. No, that's not it at all. This person it was so cutesy, was making me like, I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these little play things and trying to say cute words and like getting all the attention. And I was like, whoa. And
he's trying too hard.
Yeah.
Kumbaya.
Bothered the shit out of me.
It would bother me too. Men don't act like men. Aren't supposed to act like that.
I don't care how anybody.
If you're commanding a room, naturally, that's one thing.
Look,
if you're trying too hard, that's something that's somebody I don't want to be around.
My thing is always like, I don't know, just go with your gut, right? And I'm not going to tell you how to live. I'm just not going to be part of it. I walked away. That's all.
You do you.
I don't give a
shit. I want
shit.
nothing to do with it.
No, right, but I don't even need to say that. I don't need to say anything.
No.
I don't want to be the one who's like, oh, you're such a dick. No. I just don't care for that, and since I don't want to bring it into my world, that's fine. And I'm sure people say the same thing about me more often than I even know.
Let them.
Let them.
Seriously, let them.
Before we wrap up here, a movie that I don't know if it's available or not. It is called Play the Game. Play the Game. And there's a reason why I would like to see this movie. It's PG-13, but it's about a young guy. He's a ladies' man, kind of, right? And he teaches his grandfather, Grandpa Joe, who happened to be my grandfather's name, how to he's a lonely widower. And so Grandpa Joe goes to the grandkids, starts to teach them how to pick up the women. Right? How to.
Okay.
All right.
So it's not exactly Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
No. Best mind games, how to meet women, how to get the woman of his dreams. And Grandpa Joe is played by Andy Griffith.
Oh, okay.
Who ends up in bed in this movie. It's one of the last movies he did, or last shows he did, He with Liz Sheridan, who played Jerry Seinfeld's mom, and she's like in a red negligee. And I guess in the scene, she hands him a Viagra. He takes it. They're in bed, and she disappears under the covers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then you see Andy Griffith's face. But I mean, Andy Griffith's got his Mayberries off. In a movie, I'd like to see it. It sounded
just out of
funny.
curiosity.
Wouldn't you like to see out of curiosity?
Because it's Andy Griffith.
Well, that's why. Because he played Matlock, a Southern by-the-book lawyer,
Right.
and he played Andy Griffith of Mayberry.
But I heard there have been stories alluded to that Andy Griffith wasn't the greatest guy to work with on the Andy Griffith show.
I don't know. He was a comedian, and he had a really weird. There's an album you can find. It was a football thing.
But he wasn't this wholesome dude necessarily. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
But that he was not like great to work with Don Knotts and Ron Howard.
Wouldn't Don Knotts drive you nuts after a while?
I'm sure he would.
I mean, he was Mr. Farley on the Threes Company. He was great, but it was always that he was Chevy Chase before Chevy Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Tripping over things, falling down.
Yeah.
Well, that was my favorite. Was the sniff. Always the sniff when you knew you were right or you were going to make a great point. Well, Andy, let me tell you, whatever it was. But I'd like to see this. Liz Sheridan, Jerry's mom, and Andy Griffith as Grandpa Joe. And the movie is Play the Game.
Have you ever seen the movie Bupkis? Or the television show, Bupkis. So they didn't renew it for a second season. But
Was it on?
It's Pete Davidson. It was on Peacock.
On Peacock.
It's Pete Davidson basically playing himself because that's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
His mother is Edie Falco from The Sopranos.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
His grandfather is Joe Pesci. Okay. And his uncle is Brad Garrett. Now, his father's gone, of course, because they got to play the whole, like, my father died on 9/11 as a firefighter. That's just what he does. And there's this one scene where Brad Garrett picks up a woman, and he hurts his back. They help him, like, he and his grandfather help him pick up a woman. And all of a sudden, he's, like, trying to have sex with her, and he throws out his back. So now Pete and his grandfather got to help him finish the job.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. All right, on that note, my friend Dan, who gave us a Bible verse earlier today.
I'm just telling you what the show is.
I know. I'm just teasing you.
But they decided not to redo it for a second season. The show was actually pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it. It actually does sound like it. All right, for Dan Barillo, will I see you tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be here.
All right. I'm Bill Moran. We'll see you tomorrow.
I woke up in a hotel, didn't know what to do. I turned the TV on and wrote a letter to you. The news was talking about a dragnet up on the interstate.
Got a home improvement conundrum? Time to call in the superheroes. Mac of all trades. Leaky faucet. Wall that mysteriously has a hole in it. Kitchen looking like it's stuck in the 90s. Mac of all trades is here to save the day. No capes, just expert repairs, remodeling, and handyman services that get the job done right. Call them today at 585-202-9218. That's 585-202-9218. Or visit them online at macofalltrades.net. Because every home needs a hero. Mac of all trades. Oh, I see you have random, rusty, ridiculous scrap metal all throughout your garage. I know that scene. Holding on to that extra siding from 2008? Come on. Pack up that garage mess and roll it down to Premier Metal, Rochester's #1 choice for scrap. We're talking metal from auto jobs, plumbing, HVAC, roofing, siding. If it's shiny, bendy, and mysteriously dented, they want it at Premier Metal. You know that metal shelf that attacked you in 1998? Get rid of it. At Premier Metal, they offer the best prices. This is a scrap metal commercial, not a spelling bee. Aluminum siding, electric motors, car wheels, copper wire, steel, sheet metal, 300 series stainless steel, auto batteries, lead, and even your ex's dumb weight bench. Make cash, clear space. Visit PremierMetalGroup.com or either of Premier Metal's state-of-the-art facilities. West Linden Avenue in East Rochester, just minutes off 490, or 11 Carn Street in Rochester, just minutes off 390. Premier Metal. Be a metal magician and turn that metal into cash with Premier Metal.